When I see it, it's not. Oh, okay. What's it?
Oh. You see it?
See it?
All right, we're trying something new with Heavy Radio. We're going live. It's Marco here. This is Jay.
J Whack.
And we are actually playing a live show tomorrow night in Des Moines at the Rumble Room. It's by the bus stop, where the bus stop used to be.
Yeah. Okay. So.
This is Heavy Radio, the first ever live episode, live without a net, if you will.
Live without a net.
Unscripted,
Great.
unplanned. We were just hanging out, and here we are now. It's now.
It is now. And we just finished recording all the drum tracks, I believe, for the new upcoming album.
Yep, No Right to Rule, Dark Mirror.
Coming 2025 right at you. So we just laid down all the drums, and so a few vocals, a little bit of vocal action there for some of the B-side covers, songs, and then we played a show in Cedar Rapids at the Ideal Bar in Cedar Rapids, and that was a great venue. I love that. I'd love to play there again.
Yeah, awesome owner, awesome staff, awesome sound, just real classy joint. We're glad that they let people like us in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a Tuesday night, so but even so, they let us blow the roof off the place, and we did that, and then.
Every once in a while, we'd like to have a segment called the Heavy Metal Time Machine. And so this was actually yesterday, but close enough. If we went in the Heavy Metal Time Machine and stepped out September 25th, 1972, Black Sabbath would be dropping Volume 4, the album Volume 4.
Oh, nice.
If we stepped out the same day in 1976, Black Sabbath would be dropping their album Technical Ecstasy. If this was 1980, we would be mourning John Bonham, R.I.P. John Bonham, September 25th, 1980. September 25th, 1981, Saxon dropped Denim and Leather.
Nice. I have that one on vinyl.
Hell yeah. Let's see what else has been going on. Skid Row dropped their first ever live album, live in London. I guess that just happened.
That just happened. I saw that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I haven't checked it out yet, but...
I once saw Skid Row live in Winston-Salem,
North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It was a biker bar, and I guess Manowar played there. And like bikers could just ride their motorcycles up to the stage, basically.
I saw Manowar at that same spot.
Oh,
it's
shit.
called like Muzz. It was like...
It's got to be the same thing.
It was the same place. It was a biker bar, but Manowar and Rhapsody played there. It was 2005. I saw them.
Jesus.
Warriors of the World.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've seen Manowar, but not on that tour.
Yeah, it was that. It was 2004 or 5.
Michael Schenker released his new album, My Years with UFO. Apparently, it's got an all-star roster of guest artists, including Axl Rose / Kai Hansen,
What?
Roger Glover, Biff Byford, Jeff Scott Soto, Dee
What?
Snider, John Norum, Joe Lynn Turner, Carmen Appice, and Stephen Pearcy.
Did you say John Bush?
No.
Okay, but you said...
You wish.
I know, I do. But you did say Jeff Scott Soto, and that's...
And apparently they're promoting the song Love to Love featuring Axl Rose right now.
Okay.
I want to check that out. Scorpions are coming home to Las Vegas, 60th anniversary Las Vegas residency. I would love to see that. yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now.
All right.
And so, yeah, we got the new album. The drums are almost done, and we're excited about that. We got some vocals done. We actually just dropped the first single, just the rough mix, so you could hear it. And
V12.
V12 is the name. And then it's got a B side that we're actually playing live. We played it live for the first time Tuesday night, playing it live for the second time Friday, tomorrow night, in Des Moines, Iowa, and the birthplace of me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's Proud to Be Loud.
Proud to be loud.
It was written by, I guess, a guy named Keel, Jeff Keel, I think it is, of the band Keel. That was a stretch naming that one. But Pantera did it, and it's actually in the movie Donnie Darko. And they were credited as the like green mummies, dead green mummies or something.
Yeah.
I think it was because, they didn't, that wasn't on like an album, and I don't think they cared to make the people making the movie pay, is my guess. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. Just talking out my asshole, man.
And it's talking out your ass, man.
But something like that, I assume.
I've never seen the movie, honestly.
Oh, fuck.
I've never seen it. I've been told since I was in high school, you gotta watch this movie.
I'll tell you again right now.
Yeah. I keep hearing it, and then I never get around to it. I will. When I'm like 50 years old, I'll probably pop it in.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we're feeling good. We're feeling good about the show. We're feeling good about the band. We're feeling really good about the direction of where the music's going and the band is headed. All good things are coming soon, and
like it or not.
Like it or not, there's
you will learn to love it.
If you've been a Dark Mirror fan since the beginning, you'll definitely love it, because there's elements of that. If you came in or during the later years, there's elements of that style too. There's all eras going to be melded in, and I don't know if we mentioned who this is. The bass player. I'm the vocalist.
And also sometimes the drummer.
I for the studio purposes, I did like 75-80% of the drums on the album.
Shit, I am going on in the band from concept to now, which is over 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Of Dark Mirror. We played a live show in Des Moines with Jay 16 years ago at the now, it's something else now. It was the House of Bricks.
Oh, is it something else now?
I think it might be Blazing Saddles. I think they moved.
Yeah. So
and now it's got an awesome patio on the roof. So maybe we could still play there. I don't know. I played there at their old location, and it was amazing.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really
maybe
cool.
We could go back to the spot where he did a drum solo.
Where I did a drum solo.
You can find it on the YouTube. Where you're at now. So it's not even difficult.
Yeah, just type in Dark Mirror Asylum. You type in my name, Jeremy, and that'll be the first thing that pops up right there. Dark Mirror Asylum drum solo. You can type that in. And it has the song Asylum from the album Portrait of Evil. And
on that album is Blitz Cregan, Dustin Cregan, who will be playing. He played with us Tuesday. He'll play with us Friday.
Okay.
And he's in the fold, so he is here as long as he wants to be here.
Yeah. So yeah.
And he sings too. He laid down vocals where it's a surprise. We're not dropping that yet, but you heard it here first. There are vocals from Dustin Cregan, the Blitz Cregan, the Ballroom Blitz. He cracked us all up, but in a great way. Like we were just shook by what he dropped down on the fly. It was magic, studio magic, folks.
It was. There was a lot of studio magic, actually. Both times we were at that studio, Flatback Studios, out towards Cedar Rapids way.
Yes, and this is Luke, his band, Sinner Friends.
Luke Tweedy is
at Flat Black Studio. Couldn't recommend it more. Him
great.
as a individual human, and then also the studio itself.
Studio is legit. It is great sound. You know, we really, especially this last session through this week, we really got to kind of delve into the songs and write some cool stuff and kind of throw some stuff in there and experiment a little bit. So it was fun.
Did some B-sides that some combination of us wanted to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Did one that's directly connected to Luke, and I can't wait for that. But yeah, almost all the original songs are coming along. We got multiple parts for them laid down.
Yeah.
I would say the hard part for me, what's always been the hard part, is done. Now it's just the work's done. Now it's time to party.
Yeah. The songs are mostly written, but we still the vocals still need to be done and recorded, written and recorded. So I'll be working on that. Mark will be helping me with that, and
and the plan is to do an album release. It'll be not around this Thanksgiving, but around next Thanksgiving. We dropped one song. We're gonna drop the B-side soon, and then we're gonna stagger out the singles through most of 2025, and then drop the full album November of 2025 is the plan.
It's gonna be an exciting year for Dark Mirror. This year is already pretty exciting.
Closing it with a bang.
Yes, and then we're gonna open up next year with a bang as well and get it really going strong. This week right here is a good a run through of everything and getting everybody up to speed and back in the game. A lot of it Dark Mirror hasn't played live in quite a few years
until Tuesday
pre-COVID
nights.
Until
last
this
Tuesday.
week. Yeah.
Back to Cedar Rapids right after Judas Priest played there.
So
we were so bummed out because we were supposed to gig with the Three Tremors, which actually Harry Conklin we've had on the show, the Tyrant from Jag Panzer. We've had Tim Owens on the show. Go back and check that out, and hopefully we'll have them both again sometime. But check those episodes out. And we were supposed to play with them, and that got canceled because of the international events. And then we were supposed to play with Flotsam and Jetsam, who actually we might, spoiler alert, they might make appearance tonight. Not physically, but one of their songs.
I was getting excited for it.
But yeah, we did have an episode with Eric AK too, so check that out. Hell yeah. I wanted to go down memory lane a little bit, and I was just gonna try to like riff off some of the like things that stand out to me from the last 20 years. Actually, before Dark Mirror was called Dark Mirror, I went to an epic show at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa, and it was sold the fuck out. It was Styx, actually, and I went with my buddies Brian Dahl and Joe Wallace, and we actually just drove up there on a whim because we all were Styx fans, and it was sold out and we didn't know it. So we drove up there and we're just sitting there, and a guy he was on KGO for a long time. His nickname was the Round Guy. And he just saw us and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we were like, "We came from Des Moines, but the show's sold out." And so like he went inside for a minute and he came back out with 3 tickets. And we were just there, front row center at the Surf, packed. all I can remember is it was like the ratio was good on female to male from my perspective, and that's rare for like heavy metal
show, yeah.
and rock even these days.
Yeah.
So you had the attractive. Okay, I was a teenager at the time.
This is his teenager thought process.
You had attractive, probably grandmas with their attractive moms, and then you had their attractive daughters. So like, it was just a good place to be a 17-year-old male or whatever I was. And there was also more undergarments thrown on stage than any concert that I've ever been to before, during, or since.
And this is Styx?
Hell yeah.
That's so cool.
Tommy Shaw, popular with the ladies. Who would have thunk it? I mean, I would have thunk it. I'm not a lady, so I don't try to speak for the ladies, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a kick-ass show all around, and the set list was sick. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of want to rock like as much as possible. That's the thought that I left with after seeing that show.
Oh, yeah. You were what, 17?
Something like maybe younger.
16.
No, I think I was 18 actually, because we were gonna go to like casinos in Minnesota afterwards.
Oh,
but we tried to get to one, and by the time we got there, we were tired and we ate at Perkins, and then we came back home.
Nice.
So the story got less exciting with that.
Yeah, it was
The highlight was the Styx show.
Styx and the undergarments.
And the MILFs and the GILFs.
MILFs and the GILFs.
And whatever else you want to call it.
The MILFs, the GILFs, and the...
And then at the same place,
yeah.
I saw Dio and Anthrax opened up.
Oh, no.
So it was Anthrax with John Bush on the We Come For You All tour.
Oh.
And then Dio playing with Craig Goldie, who we hopefully will actually make the Goldie episode happen. We started it, and then we had to pause it, and we're going to try to bring that home for you here next. But yeah, Craig Goldie and Rudy Sarzo was on bass, and Simon Wright was on drums, who I love, from Hellion and AC/DC, among other things, and Dio, of course.
And this is pre-Dark Mirror's existence?
No, this one was not.
Okay.
Dark Mirror was rocking at that. No, that one would have been
maybe just before.
Yeah, Dark Mirror. I mean, some of the early songs existed, but Dark Mirror was not a live full band.
It was
taking
PUD. It was
music
nothing
to
but
the
PUD back
Yeah.
then.
True story.
I've been learning my Dark Mirror history all week.
Yeah,
Even though I'm part of the history from
way back,
16 years ago.
from the MySpace days, if you
From the
remember
MySpace.
what that is.
That's where I found Dark Mirror.
I'm
on
proud to
MySpace.
say my top MySpace friends are still cool.
Mhm.
You can go to like Marco Battaglia or whatever my MySpace was, and still see my top friends last I checked.
Nice.
I know Bruce Campbell was one of them. But yeah, my friends, right? But, Bill
yeah.
Hicks, I think, was another one.
Oh.
And I think Hunter S. Thompson, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Warren Zevon. But anyway, it was nobody that I was embarrassed by that was there on my top friends list.
Yeah. I can't remember who was on mine. I know that.
I mean, I think I was just joking, of course, making my top friends like celebrities that I liked. But
Yeah.
but
One thing I'll tell you, Ronnie Monroe of Metal Church.
I have a picture with him and Kurt
He-
from a Metal Church concert from Harry Mary's in
Nice.
Des Moines, Iowa.
He commented on my what would they call the MySpace? Was it a wall? Whatever it was.
Whatever.
The thing that you could
that you could
like the thread.
type on your thingies onto somebody else's thingy.
Yeah. So Ronnie Monroe did post on my MySpace and saying like, "Hey man, thanks for listening." I forgot what he said, but he did say something directly to me, and I thought that was really cool, you know. And I had just seen them live too. It was right before they broke up with Ronnie Monroe. I think it was a record label issue with Metal Blade or whatever. And they played Rocklahoma Festival 2009. And right after that, that was their last performance with Ronnie Monroe. And just after that, he had posted on my MySpace. But he is a cool cat. But Metal Church has had many cool cats for singers: David Wayne, Mike Howe, both my favorites. Ronnie, they're all Mike Howe, David Wayne, and Ronnie Monroe are all right up here.
No Right to Rule is actually dedicated to the memory and spirit of Mike Howe. Mike Howe was cool enough to do video chats with me and offer words of encouragement and support. He was actually going to come on Heavy Radio before he passed, and that did not happen, unfortunately. But we're always cranking his music, both Metal Church previous when he came back, and his music before Metal Church, which is awesome. Heretic was the band, and there's so much good stuff there in such a short period of time. But yeah, solid dude in my book, one of the best. Amazing that I got to see him live, and amazing music. And our No Right to Rule is dedicated to the memory of Mike Howe. Rest in power. Just some of the cool things that we've gotten to do in the past, like we supported UFO. Jeremy Hall is in the current lineup. Solid dude. He's been like a rock for Dark Mirror, just made the live sound just so good, so tight, great tone, great player, great guy. Got nothing but great things to say about him. So happy to have him in the fold.
Yes.
And we played. We supported UFO in Des Moines with Jeremy and Blitz and Clint. So Clint is the second longest tenured member of Dark Mirror at this point. He's been in the band at least 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
On the drums, and he just keeps getting better every time I see him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He also plays now with the Rumors, who kick ass. If you dig just more rock and roll, there's no other way to put it. Check out the Rumors. They'll be all over the place. I mean, you might see them. I would say they're officially blowing up. So I'm stoked. He's in a band called Electric Assault with Garen Draws, who Garen really put the band on his shoulders. Him and Adam Taylor, affectionately known as Grimace. Garen and Adam really carried a lot of the weight for our third album, Patterns of Chaos. And I'm still really proud of that record. We still are going to play music from it because it kicks ass in my book. We played Psycho Navigator, which is my personal favorite song from the album. Jay did great on the vocals. I'm really excited for where that's going. We're going to play it tomorrow night and hopefully many times in the future. If I get my way, we're going to add Bat Demon soon, and probably Kairos. That song is really emotional for me, but I've done a lot of processing and whatever you want to call it, therapy, drugs, drink, drugs, and good and bad lifestyle decisions, and hopefully more good than bad. And I'm ready to take it on again. It's a great song. If I do say so myself, I might be a bit biased.
I think it's a great song too, and I had no part in the writing of it whatsoever, so I can objectively say it's a good song.
I had way too much of a part, and I lived it. And I'm here to tell the tale for now.
Yeah.
however fleeting it may be. We got to support Megadeth at the rave in Milwaukee, the good land, which was cool. On paper, on the flyer, we supported Megadeth, but like the rave is like there's a bunch of like venues in like one building, and so we played like a kind of like bar within the rave, and it was way before Megadeth. So as a band, as me, it didn't really feel like opening for Megadeth, but according to the flyer, we supported Megadeth in Milwaukee, and it was sick. I did get to see the sound check, and I stood right next to Dave. And if I remember right, they sound checked with High Speed Dirt and another song from that album.
Psychotron, Ashes in Your Mouth, Foreclosure of a Dream,
Skin of My Teeth. It was High Speed Dirt and Skin of My Teeth, if my memory serves me correctly. And I got to hear those twice because I heard the sound check. And Dave, you just kind of looked at me like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I didn't say nothing because I just wasn't told to leave, so I just stood there.
You just gotta have mad respect, though. Man.
It was cool. So yeah, I'm not saying like we're tight or he knows who I am. He probably doesn't. But actually, I did have a formerly Twitter, now X or whatever, exchange with Dave. I think I asked him what he thought of like the Libertarian Party and Gary Johnson. I was like, "What do you think of this?" And he said, "I don't."
That is a Dave Mustaine answer if I've ever heard one.
What else? We got to support Diamond Head in St. Paul in Minnesota. Excuse me. And that was epic. They were solid dudes. Nothing but amazing things to say about that. We got to support Ross the Boss. I actually asked him to play a song. One of the few times I've ever asked an artist to play a song and that wasn't in the set list. It was Shell Shock from Battle Hymns from Manowar, and they did it. He did it, and I will always be in his debt for that. Like, it was so cool.
So you asked him to play Shell Shock, and he did it?
The band knew it, and they did it.
Oh, dude, see, similar situation happened with me and Ripper Owens. I kept yelling. It was before I met him backstage after the show and hung out with him. But before that, I was just a drunk audience member, and I kept screaming, "Heart of a Killer! Heart of a Killer!" And
oh shit, what was that album? Oh, Winter's Bane.
Winter's Bane was the band.
I have that album in the basement.
Oh yeah. So it was one of my favorite songs by him before Judas Priest he got involved with, and I really wanted to hear that live. And he was like, he finally heard or acknowledged me. He probably heard me the whole time trying to ignore me, but I could not be ignored. And finally heard me and said, "Heart of a Killer." He was like, my band doesn't know that one, but I'll tell you what, I'll sing part of it for you. And he sang the first verse and chorus a cappella, just for me, yelling. No, I mean just for the whole crowd. It was in Maryland, and he did that, and that meant a lot to me. My night was made, and I didn't even know I was gonna, get to meet him. I bought him. We did shots backstage. I bought him a shot of whiskey. And we both did a shot, and I showed him my screams, my Judas, my Halford, my Ripper screams, and he was like, "That's cool, man." I'm no Ripper, but that was a really fun night. And he's a really, really nice, down to earth dude. Yeah, just like Ross the Boss, it sounds like he is too.
Every time I've seen him, he was just a solid, dude.
Yeah.
And a solid human being, and. I don't want to forget anything, but I'm just ripping the things that come to mind. We got to support Pentagram and hang with Bobby Liebling, and for me that was special as hell. And we have to thank Nate, our old roommate, Nate Phillips,
Nate.
affectionately known as Nate Fetus, from Black Market Fetus and Traffic Death. Also in that band is Garen and Clint, or in the band Electric Assault is Garen and Clint, and they've played together. Garen has also been in Traffic Death. Is that connection? But we also used to be roommates with Nate, and he was an awesome roommate and an awesome dude. And he has done so much for this area. He brought Pentagram here. He brought Billy Milano here with MOD. So that's how I got to hang with that guy, which was cool as hell for me personally. One of the bummer things that happened over the years is we're actually supposed to support Nevermore on a run of shows, but then also at the House of Bricks in Des Moines. And they actually broke up right before that. So that stuff happens too. But Nevermore is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Same.
And Sanctuary. And we're actually, we'll drop something else. We're going to do, the plan is to do a Sanctuary song live with Dark Mirror. So we're working on that as we speak. That was actually J-Wack that picked that. And everybody was like, fuck yeah.
I am a huge, specifically Warrell Dane is one of my biggest influences. I sometimes forget to add him up there, but he is in the top 5 easily, just not only because of his talent, but his raw emotion in his voice is so astounding, and it gives you chills, it gives you goosebumps, his voice. Dreamy Neon Black by Nevermore, This Godless Endeavor, amazing. Into the Mirror Black by Sanctuary. All these albums. Warrell Dane, Battle Angels, of course. His voice has such range.
I even love their cover of
Sounds of Silence.
All of that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
Jefferson
did
Airplane or Starship. Or
they did White Rabbit.
They
do White Rabbit. It's amazing version of that. I'll tell you this: the version of Sounds of Silence by Nevermore, which is a Simon and Garfunkel song. It took me years to even realize that was a cover.
It's very loosely a cover, right?
So
it just has some of the same lyrics.
Basically. It's like, but I'm here for that. It's the deliverance of that song is on point, and they made it into a Nevermore song. Somehow they Nevermored it up, and it's just so good. Warrell Dane, rest in peace, buddy. I saw you live, man. I saw you live in 2005 at Gigantour, the very first one. Megadeth, Dream Theater, Nevermore, right there. Symphony X was there too, but
I
Nevermore.
love his solo records too.
Me too, bro.
Both of them, or however many they are, they're all in my collection.
Yeah, I have one of them, the one with Brother on it, and that's a chilling song of a true story of his own personal life and his family. So I really love that. Just Warrell Dane in general is a master. He was a master.
Yeah. So many emotional lyrics and personal lyrics.
He's very influenced.
One of his last, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say he's super influenced by Edgar Allan Poe, as am I. And Edgar Allan Poe is from my neck of the woods on the East Coast.
Yeah, he's actually a good friend of mine.
What? Edgar Allan, what?
Oh, wait, what? Just kidding.
He's an old friend.
I like to think he is.
He's an old friend of mine. But I am definitely influenced by Poe's style, his dark style of writing, and Warrell Dane was too. So
a few years back, I was listening to a podcast episode about like his death, and I would need to re-listen to that because it was like fascinating.
Really? Oh, Edgar Allan Poe's death?
Yeah, like apparently he was like
he died like alone.
Well, before that, he was like on like a road trip or something, and people were trying to remember like the last time they saw him and his whereabouts.
Oh.
And it was really it was just a really cool podcast episode. I got to remember what it is.
He was a strange. I feel like he married one or two of his cousins when they were like teenagers.
Oh, no.
Like he was an adult.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. 1890 or something.
Don't. Here's a PSA: don't marry your cousin. And don't marry a teenager if you're not a teenager. So it doesn't come back to Steven Tyler your ass.
Yeah.
Whatever. Insert whoever here. P. Diddy, Steven Tyler. Apparently, every celebrity that you've ever loved did something fucked up, and we're now putting it together.
I mean, even
in global mass,
no one is immune to this stuff anymore these days. You got Dave Grohl on the board now.
Oh fuck!
But still a stand-up dude. But
I don't even. Yeah, I'm not here to judge that one because who knows? Like if his family's cool, if he's cool with his family and he's cool with his new family, who am I to judge? You know?
I mean, I think he's got a rocky road ahead of him, but he at least got in front of it.
Oh yeah,
you know, and that takes balls. And but it's just rock star lifestyle. But that's not the life that it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, you know.
And it's definitely not if you're like not a wealthy member of society or whatever.
Yeah,
if you're just like dudes trying to, or chicks or whoever. If you're just a human making art, like it's not going to be like that. And I'm glad it's not like that. Like it's, we're entering a new era of like artists and creating, and live shows are just, it's just gonna, I think it's going to be for the better in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like the whole like rock star thing is officially like in the grave and fucking buried, and
now it's about the
if
seriousness.
You do some bullshit, you're probably going to have to take accountability for it a lot sooner. Like you're not going to be like geriatric Steven Tyler, and now you're finding out that it was kind of fucked up that you did something in the 60s or 70s.
No.
Like you're going to find out, you're going to hear from people that same night.
You will.
They'll be in your fucking DMs and in your fucking band pages at wherever, whatever the next social media is, they're going to be commenting like, dude, you fucked up.
Yeah.
And you're going to either take accountability or you're going to suffer, you know. And I'm glad that's like justice in real time, you know.
Yeah.
Not justice delayed or justice never.
A pro tip to any rising musicians out there, or any bands who don't have a label yet, or aren't unsigned bands, and any bands in general. Pro tip is, it's not the 80s anymore. It's not coke and alcohol and liquor and sex.
You also don't have to suck an adult's dick to succeed in the industry anymore
nowadays.
So it's unless you really want to, I guess. But I wouldn't want to.
No, it's really about focusing on the quality of the music and the fans more than anything else. If you want to party, do it. You know, that's on your own time.
Try to be safe, within reason, within your limits.
I tell you, if you want to go on tour with Megadeth and you're some partying, rocking band that just gets high all the time and drinks and stuff, Megadeth is not gonna want you to play with them, because these bands nowadays, even the older ones, are health conscious now. They're body conscious, they're mind conscious, and they're music forward. They're music centric, and it's not about the other stuff anymore. And it's not about the offstage stuff.
You can do those things, music. But like you're probably not gonna like climb the ladder, which is fine if that's not what you're trying to do. To be honest, I've never known what I've personally been trying to do other than to keep going forward, and that's what got us to right here,
right? And
what got us to these opinions that we're currently giving, and I couldn't agree more.
I can tell you, I was sucked in that lifestyle, and it was putting me nowhere. And now we're going somewhere. I can, if I was out there partying, I wouldn't even be here today to tell you. Talking to you about Dark Mirror, or being.
I would say it's a miracle that 3 to 4 of us are here, let alone together.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those.
Yeah.
And
we lived that lifestyle that we thought.
Yeah, and probably my biggest fucking vice is like food and binge, bad food and binge eating.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was even worse for me than the drink or any drug. And so I'm still working on that.
Yeah, yeah. I still
But,
have my vices as well, but when it comes to the band and the music, that comes first when it's time.
Yeah,
It's time.
family and then band and music.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just like, take care of your bullshit, man.
Yeah, but
The last story that comes to my mind just off the top of the dome is me and Clint Wheelman. Again, yeah, the second longest tenured member of Dark Mirror history. One of the best drummers I know, by the way, I'm proud to say.
I'd say so.
We were at Metallica somewhere in the Midwest, and we were like right in front in the fucking. It was when they had the snake pit or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lars was like asking an audience member to come up to play drums, and Clint, he like made eye contact with Clint, and some other dude like ran up in front of Clint, and they pulled the other dude up, and like I don't think Clint really cared, but I cared because the dude they pulled up there could not play, but Clint would have like surprised the fuck out of him, and it would have been like epic.
Dude,
because he's better than Lars. I'll say it.
That's a fact.
And I love Lars. That's not even a dig.
No, it's not.
Clint is just that fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been epic as hell if it would have been Clint instead of this other dude that weaseled his way in there who didn't he either got stage fright or he just didn't know how to play drums. But yeah, I still think like every once in a while, like, dude, what if Clint got up there and like did like a fucking drum solo or played like the intro to Painkiller or some shit, whatever, some Clint thing.
Man, I always dreamed that would happen to me. Every day I dream that thing,
Because Kirk probably at least knows a little bit of Painkiller. They probably would have jammed.
They would have jammed. They jammed Judas Priest. They played with Judas Priest. They played with
Rapid Fire, I think. Yeah, great song.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah, we'll get into our heavy radio tracks, and as usual, if something else comes up, we just kind of keep it flowing and keep talking about the topics at hand. But what's your first track that you're adding to the heavy radio, doing it live for the first time ever, and video?
That's right.
For the first time ever. There's a lot of fucking firsts.
Yeah.
JWAC actually has been on. We've had a JWAC episode
once before.
This is JWAC number 2.
Yeah. So appropriately, I chose the song "Introduce Yourself" by Faith No More, who I'm heavily into right now. And I figured since I'm new to the band in some sense, newish. I'm the new singer. I figured I would choose "Introduce Yourself" by Faith No More, the title track to their 1987 album. So,
hell yeah, love that album, love that band.
Yeah,
Crank It, Introduce Yourself, Faith No Moss.
Yes.
My first track that I'm adding to the Dark Mirror Live / JWAC episode of Heavy Radio is from the band Blitzkrieg. The track is If I Told You. It's from their new album, self-titled album called Blitzkrieg. That came out just a few weeks ago. And so, yeah, if you go on to your internets and type Blitzkrieg, album Blitzkrieg, came out September 6th.
Hey.
Is it Justice?
We got a little Justice here.
Justice making his heavy radio debut. Oh, snap.
There's the man right there. That's Mark's son.
Oh, yeah. Making his heavy radio debut. And
off he goes.
Somewhere to have more fun than we're having. And yeah, so Crank It. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's back. So yeah, Blitzkrieg, If I Told You, from the album Blitzkrieg. And Here, let me. I'm gonna give Justice, the YouTube Kids, so he can hang out with his mom out there. Maybe. You want to take this? Go ahead.
All right. Awesome.
Next
Justice.
track from JWAC.
So my next track I chose was it's a rare Accept song, which of course Udo started out in Accept, but this album is called Eat the Heat, and the song I chose was Hellhammer off of that album. I'm really into the vocalist on that album, and I can't for the life of me remember his name off the top of my head.
David Reese.
Yes.
I think we played a show with him. Yeah.
What?
I think he was on the Diamond Head show.
Yeah.
He was one of the other support acts.
So I just love his voice on that album especially.
And he played some of those songs. I
Oh,
can't
really?
remember which ones, but
Yeah, so I love
one or two or more were played.
I love like every song on that album. It's hard to choose one, but Hellhammer.
Yeah, it's a heavy,
It's a good
heavy
one.
album.
Yeah, it is, man. Hellhammer.
And it's a creative album.
Yeah. So really any song, Generation Clash, D
Oh,
Train,
ugh.
like all these good songs are on that album. But Hellhammer was the one I chose for this episode's song was my second song. Hellhammer, Accept.
Crank it on the Heavy Radio playlist. And this will be available everywhere that you have these kinds of things. My next track is Flotsam and Jetsam, A New Kind of Hero. You can check out the music video right now. This came out September 13th. The album is I Am the Weapon. Check out our episode with Eric AK. And hopefully we'll one day finally get to make it happen with Flotsam. Hopefully more than once. But yeah, crank it. Flotsam and Jetsam, A New Kind of Hero.
Excellent. So moving on to my next pick is Mark and I both love hip hop, especially old school hip hop. And I really have been into a lot of Tupac and Bone Thugs and Harmony recently, and I couldn't figure out which song I would have wanted to pick by either of them. So I chose one that they're both collaborating on. It's called Thug Love, L-U-V, Love, by Tupac and Bone Thugs and Harmony. It goes hard, man. It has the gunshot sound effects in it through the beat, like as the beat at the end of each verse. And when Tupac's part comes in, like 2 minutes in, and he just fucking nails it, bro. Like as he always does, spitting the truth. But so Thug Love by Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac. That is my third pick.
Hell yeah. My next pick is I wrote this song a long time ago by Tupac.
I wrote this in 94.
My next song is actually from Satan, the Satan, Satan themselves. The song is Era, The Day Will Come. The album is Songs in Crimson. And just another killer band for the ages that are still cranking out quality stuff. Check it out. It's Satan, Era, The Day Will Come. Era in parentheses, The Day Will Come. The album is Songs in Crimson. Crank it.
All right. Well, that brings us to my fourth pick for this episode. I'm a huge John Bush fan. I love John Bush and everything he does. He does no wrong. Whether it's Anthrax, Armored Saint, Metal Allegiance.
I was just listening to Bordello, the song, or is it called Bordello of Blood? I don't know. It's on the Bordello of Blood soundtrack.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one off the top of my head, but I do know that it's awesome because it's John Bush.
And because it's Tales from the Crypt related.
Yeah. So I picked an Armored Saint classic off of a really great album called Raising Fear, which I bought the cassette tape of yesterday
At
Rats Underground Record Shop.
At the Merle Hay Mall.
The Merle Hay Mall here in Des Moines. So I got that cassette, and my choice on that, my favorite song on that album is Out on a Limb. So that is my choice for my fourth pick. Armored Saint, Out on a Limb off the Raising Fear album, 1987, if I'm not mistaken.
Hell yeah.
Crank that shit.
We hope to have more John Bush related news in the near future, and that's all we can say about that. My next track is Victory with Count on Me. This is from the new album Circle of Life. This also came out September 13th. September is a fucking happening. September 2024. Who would have known? A happening month for heavy metal and hard radio and heavy radio. Victory, Count on Me. The album is Circle of Life. I've only heard this track so far, but I'm looking forward to digging into the rest. I'm pretty sure it's not a Lion King
I was good.
tribute, or not a Lion King concept album. But even if it is, I'm not opposed. I'm actually intrigued. So I don't think it is, but if it is, I'm not turned off by
Nah,
that.
man, you got Scar, you got Simba.
What's that? Be prepared. That's metal. That's metal, Joe. Be prepared for the coup of the century. Coup d'etats and everything. Yeah, Scar is brutal as fuck.
All right. Was that your fourth or fifth? Which one was
I
that?
got one more. I think you
all
got
right.
one
I
more.
have one more.
So let's bring it home.
All right.
Heavy Radio, the J-Wack, the Fuck It, Let's Do It Live episode, the first video episode, the second J-Wack episode, the episode where we talk about ourselves. Sorry that you had to deal with that. But here, it's now.
It is now.
And we're closing it. We're bringing it home strong.
No, definitely strong. I'll tell you this next band I'm going to introduce you to, if you don't already know them. I love them. My wife is a huge fan of them as well, and she wasn't a metalhead before I met her, I'll tell you that. These guys are super heavy. They, in my opinion, they don't have a bad song. They are a newish up and they're going to hit it big. I will tell you that. They are going to hit it big. They're from Sweden. Band is called Orbit Culture. Definitely check them out. The song I picked from them is called While We Serve. It is heavy. It goes hard. Every member of that band just is phenomenal, and the vocalist can do. He can sound like Randy Blythe mixed with James Hetfield. It's like
That's
really
a nasty combo.
It is, and
actually, J-Wack turned me on to this band, so that's always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he claims that I turned him on to Sabotage.
You did. That was a fact.
So
That was a fact.
I can say I've done a good thing in my life
did.
is turning someone on to the greatness that is Sabotage.
So definitely.
And
check
likewise, Orbit Culture for me. I had never heard of that name. He told me to check it out, and it's Slade.
It's so good.
So crank it. What's the track
I
called?
The one I picked is called While We Serve, but literally, Orbit Culture, any song, you can't go wrong. Orbit Culture, any song, can't go wrong. But that is my pick. While We Serve by Orbit Culture. Crank the shit out of that in your car, your house, wherever.
Hell yeah. I'm closing out real fucking strong. Nasty Savage, Brainwasher from Jeopardy Room. Nasty Savage premiered Brainwasher just in the last week or two. This album, Jeopardy Room, comes out October 10th, 2024. I swear I always, the heavy metal is the gift that keeps on giving. Every year I get some kind of epic birthday present from an epic band. This year it is Jeopardy Room from The Nasty Savage, dropping October 10th, a few days after my birthday. October 10th, 2024 via FHM Records. Nasty Savage, Brainwasher. It's sick. I'm here for it. Crank it. The album's called Jeopardy Room. Go buy it, support these dudes because they deserve it. I hope to see them live one day. I definitely rock the Nasty Savage shirt every time I can. And now we got
Jason Newsted,
Newsted
the new kid.
making an appearance. First ever guest appearance from Jason Newsted on the Heavy Radio.
Jason, new kid on the block right here.
Yeah, so you hopefully we'll have him actually as a guest one day. But right now we got the small version. I love Jason Newsted. Always have, always will. He's a huge inspiration. I always used my finger style playing, but it was really listening to Jason on Flotsam and Flotsam and Jetsam, Doomsday for the Deceiver, and everything with Metallica, everything else that he's done.
Not only is his bass playing on point, beyond on point, his
but
vocals
Jason,
are brutal.
Yeah, I love when he does Of Wolf and Man. I feel like that's the best version in my opinion, or anything that he sings.
Everything he does, all his backup vocals, I think
I really I love Robert Trujillo, but I also really miss Jason.
I do too, man.
And I hope I think he is, but I hope he's living his best life. And if he does, every time he does put out something, metal or not, I'm checking it out.
It's great.
I don't know. That was just a random thing because I was looking at this action figure or whatever you want to call it.
I love it. I did my hairstyle like that once.
Fuck yeah.
Because
I used to have that much hair when nature allowed and genetics allowed, and maybe medical science will bring it back. I'm not above that.
Let's hope so. Me neither.
But yeah, so it's been great. It's been sweet. Heavy Radio, crank all the tracks, support all the bands, and hopefully we'll see those of you in transport tomorrow night at the Maggie's Rumble Room in Des Moines, motherfucking Iowa, and be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Party on. Have a metal day.